You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
Foreign investors bought Korean equities for a fifth straight session. Short pause. And the KOSPI still fell 1.55%. The won touched 1,408 per dollar, its strongest level since early October last year. The U.S. 30-year Treasury yield hit 5.31%, a 19-year high. Korea's short-term external debt just crossed 40% of foreign reserves. It's Wednesday, August 19th. Here's why global investors are paying attention to Korea today. Two forces are pulling Korean assets in opposite directions. Softer U.S. data revived expectations that the Federal Reserve holds in September, which lifted the won and pulled foreign money back into Seoul. But U.S. long-end yields are climbing on fiscal supply, and that is capping every risk asset in Asia. Here's what the numbers show. The won closed at 1,411.80 per dollar, down 1.201, after touching 1,408 intraday. Foreign investors net bought 91.4 billion won, about $65 million, on the main board for a fifth consecutive session. The KOSPI still closed 108.11 points lower at 6,869.83, and the KOSDAQ fell 3.52%. Matter of fact, the U.S. 30-year yield rose 5 basis points to 5.31%, the highest since June 2007, after a $25 billion auction cleared at 5.22%. Japan's 10-year yield touched 2.930%, its highest in about 30 years. Korea's short-term external debt passed 40% of reserves, against 286.1% in the fourth quarter of 1997 and 78.4% in the third quarter of 2008. Reserves met IMF adequacy standards at above 110%, though they remain below the October 2021 peak of $469.2 billion. Barclays estimates won strength could cut second quarter gross domestic income growth by 0.50 to 2.00 percentage points, with non-IT firms carrying 66% of third quarter translation losses. So what does this mean for global investors weighing Korea exposure? Earlier, we said foreign buying returned while the index still fell. Here's what that actually means for you. The marginal driver of Korean equity returns sits in the U.S. long end, not in Korean fundamentals. Currency and external buffers look supportive, so the allocation question is discount rates, not country risk. Watch the Korea Investment Corporation Act amendment, due to be filed late this month, creating a 20 trillion won strategic sovereign fund, about $14 billion, with first investments next year. Watch NVIDIA's earnings and the Jackson Hole meeting later this month for the next move in rate expectations. Watch the 30-year Treasury yield against its June 2007 record of 5.44%. That's today's AI Prism Global Investors. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a WAN IFRA award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.